Aloha mai kako and ahoa makabako ka olelo Hawai'i. Welcome to Kulāiwi. This is the 23rd in a series of 24 Hawaiian language lessons. I'm Ikelakani LP Okrosia, and I'll be your kumu for today. Today, we're going to watch the vignette we watched in our last lesson. Nenea, nana, and I'll see you as soon as it's spelled. Okay, ahui ho.
Hey, kalama.
Eo.
Aheo ana ke Jay.
Ua hele oia ki I ke kopa lauoho. Whehea oe.
Ma luhi loa wau.
No ke aha. Ua paina oe ko mone.
Ole, wa ho paa avina wau I ka pone. Nui ko opilikia I ka papa ake aka mai.
Koko au ia oe. Pu, nui ko pilikia pui ke la papa. Whehea, e oki ana o ana ke Jay di ko lauoho.
Ai.
No ke aha mai. Ole lo ihi loa ko lauoho.
Ole lo ihi loa ka pono wau e oki. No ka mea e hele rana maua o kau'i. Me le ohu lau o malulani I ka hale aina me ko kau'i mahua kane.
Oia. E hele ana o ko I ka hale aina hea.
Niele. Hele ana mako I ka hale aina o Andrews.
Hui, Mako ko.
Aloha ia ana ke.
Malaila, pehe o kau'i.
Mai ka I oia. E ho o maka na kanahana I ka la apopo.
E hana no oia mahea.
Anano oia ma ke kula nui. Ale mai ka I ka uku a ka make oia e kokua I ke la ke ena.
Ke ena hea.
O ke ia ke ena kokua I na haumana Hawai'i. Pehea oe, e hana no oe.
Ke hana ne au I ke ia manawa.
Oia ka, he haka o ana.
Ho mae au, ke ia wahi.
Oia, ka laki no oe. Oia ke kumu, o mana o wau e oki ana oe ko lauoho I ke ia kakaiaka.
Ole, make o ana ke oki. Ole lo mai oia ine. Pupu ka kau lau oho. Ka iki au, lili wale no oia.
Ole pa. Aka wale no.
Kuna ne. I ke ia maka iki ae, e la vai ana mako ma aleka.
Me vai?
Ke noho nei ka hoaloha o ko'u mama ma o. No leila, e hele ana au me ko'u ohana. E hele mai me mako.
Au nui loa ke kala.
Ole pirikia, no ka mea ua iki au I ko kau I lei vuvuni I hao. E malama ho oi kau kala.
Ale hiki paha.
No ke aha?
No ka mea, make ko ututu e lawe a mako I Tahiti ke ia make hia e. Ua lohe wau, ano pipi'i nā mea ma ke lawahi.
He ohana ko ma Tahiti?
Ai, he Tahiti ko ututu. No leila, ano nui ko na ohana ma leila.
Pehea o tutu.
Mai ka ino, o mai ka I au he tutu o pio ko u.
Pono oi e lawe mai I ko tutu I ke ia wahi mamu o ka huakai.
Ai, hele mai ana oia I ke ia pulea e no ka pena miki au. Ai, ana ke?
Ai.
E kala mai, pono au e ho'o mai ka lua.
Ai, a hiki no e ke kanaka paahana.
Hikino. So did you hear some things that you understood? Hopefully, okay? Today we're going to go over the pattern pono, okay? Pono in this case, meaning in this pattern, I have to or should, okay? So like, if I wanted to say, I should go or I have to go, it works the same way as make. Pono wau e hele. Easy, yeah? Pono wau e hele. Hanaho, I have to go. Pono wau e hele. I have to talk to you. Pono wau e olelo ya oe. Easy, yeah? Okay, if not, then let's take a look. Inana kako. In this case, Kunani says, I have to cut my hair. Okay? And I just cut it short too. I have to cut it. Pono wau e oki. Okay? If you want to say I have to cut my hair, pono wau e oki I ko'u lauoho. Pono wau e oki I ko'u lauoho. Okay? So you see how, like I said, it works just like make. Pono meaning is in the make place, and then e oki. Yeah. In our last lesson, we saw the use of that infinitive e, how we bring another action in. Yeah. Pono wau e oki. Okay. What the next sentence was, and I think you heard it. You should bring your tutu. You should bring your tutu. Yeah, because they're talking about this place where you cut hair and all of this. And so Kalama tells Kunane, Olelo o Kalama ya Kunane, pono oe e lave mai I kou tutu. Pono oe e lave mai I kou tutu. Hiki no? Hanaho. Pono oe e lave mai I kou tutu. Pono au e hele. Okay? Pono au e hele. So, I should eat. Pono au e ai. Okay? Pono au e ai. See? Easier. He should eat. Pono oia e ai. He should go. Pono oia e hele. He should go away. Pono oia e hele aku. Yeah? Mai kai. Kalama says, I have to clean the bathroom. Okay? And actually, he says I have to clean the toilet. There's a difference here between the bathroom and the toilet itself. We talked about this. I'll talk about it again. Lumi ho'opau pilikia. Yeah? Lumi, room. Ho'opau, place, a room where you end what? Your pilikia, your troubles. Right? Lumi ho'opau pilikia. That's the bathroom. But the toilet itself is a lua. Okay? Only on Kulāiwi we can talk about things like that. But you see, if we don't talk about it, then you say things like, oh, I'm going to go to the lua now. Well, that works. I think that worked before when the lua was just a hole, it was just this hole outside. But now, a better word would be lumi ho'opau pilikia. So anyway, Kalama says, I have to go clean the lua. Pono au e ho'oma'e I kalua. Okay? Key word in there is clean, ho'oma'e. You try that again? Ho'oma'e. If you're saying ho'oma'e, slap yourself, okay? Say clean, ho'oma'e. Remember we had a whole discussion on ho'o words, that if you put the prefix ho'o in front of a word, that you have a causative, so you're causing it to be clean, yeah? Ma'e is the state of being clean, ma'e. Ma'e, I'm clean, okay? But I'm cleaning, ho'oma'e. Ikino? Okay, so I have to clean the lua. Pono au e ho'oma'e I kalua. Mai kai. Okay, let's take a look. Nana kako. Oh, kalamai, back up one. Pono oe e lave mai I kou tutu. Pono oe e lave mai I kou tutu. Ikino? Just want to make sure you got that. Here we go. Pono au e ho'oma'e I kalua. Pono au e ho'oma'e I kalua. What if you wanted to say, they should speak Hawaiian language? All of them. Okay? Pono lako e olelo Hawai'i. Ai? Pono lako e olelo Hawai'i. They should speak Hawaiian. Ikino. Okay, so you get the idea. When you want to use that pattern, should or have to do something, you're going to start off with pono. When you want to bring in that extra action, whatever that action may be, we'll bring it in with e. Okay? So, he should drink water. You see somebody choking. Oh, he should drink water. Pono oia e inu vai. Okay? Or as this lady told me, he should lift his left arm. Okay? So how would you say you should lift his left arm? I'm talking about if you're choking, they said you should lift your left arm, okay? I can't even say that in English. All right, so pono oia, e lift. What is lift? Hapai, his left arm. Hapai I kona lima hema. Maikai, okay? Yeah, lima is the whole thing. From here all the way up is your lima, okay? Arm, hand, that whole thing is lima. Okay, so he should lift his left arm. Pono oia e hapai ikona lima hema. Some of you are going, hapai? I thought hapai was pregnant. Okay, well, hapai is pregnant because of what? You're carrying a keiki. That's why it's called hapai. Not because you're pregnant, okay, but because you're carrying, in one mana'o. All right, so if you lift up a bag, well, that's hapai, okay, eke. Okay, hikino. Anyway, now let's go on. Hopefully you got the pono pattern, because that's not a difficult pattern. Okay, keyless possessives. What are those? Those are the kind like kahale o kekeiki. Okay, the house of the child, as opposed to ko kekeiki hale. Okay, remember that in our last lesson, we saw how if you put ko or ka in front of a word, you can get an apostrophe S. So in this case, if you say ko kekeiki, it would be the child's, yeah, ko kekeiki hale, the child's hale. And what happens is when, with keyless possessives, you just pull apart the whole possessive so that now you have the house of the keiki, which is the same as the keiki's house, okay? Ka hale o kekeiki, ka hale o kekeiki. Hikino, inana kako. Ka hoa aloha o ku'umama. Ka hoa aloha o ku'umama. Okay, Kalama is saying that it says, Kunani asks, who lives in Aleka? Who lives in Alaska? And Kalama responds, ka hoa aloha o ku'umama. And what does it say? The friend of my mom. Okay, if it was my mom's friend, ko ku'umama ho aloha. You see how you just stick that ko as if it was an apostrophe S? Stick it in front of whoever's owning it. That's it. Ko ku'umama ho aloha. But if you want to pull it apart and make it a keles, and sometimes we do this when it gets kind of confusing as to who's owning what, then we pull it all apart. But I like this form, the keles form, yeah? Ka ho aloha o ku'umama. That's real clear. Yeah, ka ho aloha o ku'umama. Yeah, my friend's child. Kekeiki a ku'u ho aloha. You notice how the o changed to a? Why? Because now the thing that's being possessed is something that's an a class kind of noun, right? Remember we talked about what is a, what is o? A things are things that you acquire during life, and that's why your keiki is an a thing, okay? Kekeiki a ku'u ho aloha. Let's take a look at some other keyless possessives. Ko kau'i le pupu. Ko kau'i le pupu. Okay, this is not the keyless. This is with the ko, right? Apostrophe S. So this would be what? Kau'i's shall lay. Yeah. Now look at it. When we pull it apart, kalei pupu o kau'i. Kalei pupu o kau'i. Hikino? Okay. Just leave that here for a little while so you can check that out and see the difference between the two. Yeah. Remember, this right here is the same as this over here, except that this is the keyless way. Yeah. Kalei pupu o kau'i versus ko kau'i le pupu. Okay. So I make sure that you understand this. So if it was like, my husband's dog, yeah, it's an odd thing. Pets are unless like a horse, that's an old kind of thing. Remember, because it's what separates it is old things are things that you can get onto or on top of. Ka'ilio a ku'ukane or ka'ukane, But you see how you just pull it all apart. Okay, hikino. Oh, put away my pencil. All right. Hava versus Iza. What does that mean? Okay. We've had this before, and this is just review. He ohana ko matahiti. He ohana ko matahiti. Let's take off the matahiti part and just take this part. He ohana ko. Okay. Do you have a family? Yeah. Do you have family matahiti? Do you have family in Tahiti? Yeah. He ohana ko matahiti. Now look at this one. this is not a have a pattern, this is an is a pattern, okay? Because this one says, he Tahiti ko'ututu. He Tahiti ko'ututu. My tutu is a Tahitian. Yeah? You see the difference between the two? This is ko'ututu, my tutu. There's nothing in here that can make her have a Tahitian, okay? So, is a Tahitian. He Tahiti ko'ututu. He Tahiti vau. He Tahiti oi. Okay? He Tahiti kako. It sounds like a new song, yeah? Okay? All of us are Tahitian. No. He Hawai'i kako, yeah? All of us are Hawaiian. Okay, but you see this one, the difference is, he ohana ko, it ends with the possessive. You have family, yeah? This ko doesn't mean your in this case. This is the have a pattern. I'll give you a chance to look at that too. He ohana ko ma Tahiti, he ai, he Tahiti ko ututu. You know? Okay. We had this in our last lesson, and that's the nui, okay? Nui kona ohana malaila. Nui kona ohana malaila. She has what? Plenty family. She has plenty family there, okay? Now, it could also translate to her family is big there, okay? Malaila. And yeah, last lesson we had i'anei, that's here, versus ilaila or malaila over there, okay? Nui kona ohana malaila. Now, some of you may be watching and saying, hey, I've heard people say malaila. What is malaila? The same thing, okay? Malaila and malaila, that's the same thing. It's just a matter of pronunciation, how one chooses to say it. And neither is wrong, okay? Malaila, malaila, you know, okay. Just wanted to also go over the use of me. We had this earlier in this series, how to use the word with. So let's take a look. Me vai, okay, with who? Now, some of you would say, is that with water? No, because if it was water, then you would have put an article, make a vai, you see? But me vai, this vai is coming from the same vai that we use when we ask, what's your name? O vai ko inoa, yeah? Me vai. Now some people will say me wai, okay? And we use the W glide in that sound. That's up to you, that's your choice. Me mako, with all of us. Me mako. Okay? Me ko'u ohana, with my ohana. Okay? Now, since we're really at the end of our lessons for this series, because number 24, lesson 24 is really not a lesson, but a collection of all of the vignettes that you've seen from lesson 1 through 24, this is really the time for me to review lessons 13 till present, till right now in this lesson 23. So we're going to go through them kind of fast, okay, but not that fast, just to get an idea of what we've gone over. And then at the end, I have some questions that I would like you to try to translate and see if you can do on your own. Now, when we get to it, don't worry about writing it down. What's important is being able to say it. So you look at it, you see the picture, and then you just say it. Yeah? You see me going, oh yeah, just like that. Okay? Well, at least just give it your best shot. All right? So let's start reviewing for lessons 13 to 24. Okay, let's start with ua. That's what we use for our past tense marker, okay? We put ua in front of the action, and what that does is complete our action, okay? This is the completed action. Ke action nei. Ke action nei. And right now we're looking at the verb tenses, okay? When we put ua in front of a verb, we've shown completed action. When we use ke, verb nei, like ke hele nei, ke ai nei, okay, we're showing present tense. We're showing that the action is happening right now, okay? E actionana, that the action is happening later. Actually, it could also be happening at the moment we're speaking, but it will continue to go on, okay? So, e actionana. Okay, so take a look at these three. These are the three tenses. We also learned how to make them negative, okay? Negative tense sentences. We saw how in one sentence you can say, ua hia moe oia, okay? He slept. But if you wanted to say, he didn't sleep, a ole oia I hia moe, okay? We saw how the ua turns to e when we make it negative, okay? A ole oia I hia moe. Of course, you're also hearing that the pronoun subject jumps up in the front. Actually, jumps up behind a ole, yeah? To check it out. Okay, those are the two things that go on with ua. You see the ua turn to e in the negative sentence, and also in all negative sentences, tense sentences, you'll see the pronoun subject jump up in the front. Like this. A ole mako I ai. A ole mako I ai. Yeah? You're probably sitting there going, okay, come on, Kun, tell us what it means. Tell us what it means. Well, what do you think it means? We didn't eat. We didn't eat. Yeah? Completed action. All right. K verb ne in the negative turns to a verb ne. A ole a verb ne. An example of that. A ole e olelo ne kawahine. A ole e olelo ne kawahine. The wahine is not talking. Okay? Talking right now. The wahine is not talking. Now, here we see how the subject is not a pronoun. What are pronouns? Au, oi, oia, maua, kaua, laua, lako, kako, mako, oko, olua, laua, okay? All of those are your pronouns. Anytime those are the subject, you're going to see it jump up in front. But what you're seeing here in this sentence, the subject is not a pronoun, but a common noun, something, okay? In this case, the woman or a lady, okay, is not talking. A ole e olelo nei kawahine. We don't see it move up and hear. A ole kawahine e olelo nei. Hiki no? Okay, enana kako. Let's take a look. A ole e olelo nei kawahine. You see how kawahine stays in its place. The only thing that we see change in this negative pattern is that K verb nei changes to a verb nei in the negative sentence. Hiki no. Our next is a verb ana. Well, what happens to a verb ana when it goes negative? It stays a verb ana, okay? That's probably the best one. That one you don't even have to think about. It'll stay the same. But of course, what you do have to remember is if the subject, and in this case the subject is a pronoun, it's going to jump up in the front. A ole oia e noho ana. A ole oia e noho ana. Hiki no? A ole with a stative, okay? And hopefully you can see this. I wanted to get as many examples of this as I could. This one, you don't see the pronoun subject popping in the front. Not with the stative verbs. It stays the same. Take off all of the a ole, and what do we see? Mai ka iau, aka mai oia, vi ke kumu. Pupuka o ke alohi, okay? Now, let's make sure you understand them, okay, or else the joke didn't work. Mai ka iau, I'm fine. Aka mai oia, he's smart. Vi ke kumu. Yes, you didn't read it wrong since the teacher is skinny, okay? Just, wait, we're going to get to the aole part. Pupuka o ke alohi is ugly. Here we go. Aole mai ka iau, what? I'm not fine. Aole aka mai oia, he's not smart. Aole vi ke kumu, the teacher is not skinny. How dare? Aole pupuka o ke alohi, here we go, we redeemed ourselves. Ke alohi is not pupuka, is not ugly, okay? And there we go. We have all of the says. So what's really important in this is that you understand, when you make the stative sentence negative, just leave it alone. What you would say in the regular, sentence, in the positive one, mai ka iau, stays that way in the negative. Aole mai ka iau. It doesn't jump up in the front like how we saw the negative tense sentences. Okay? Mai ka e. Hikino. My action. What does that mean? Okay. Looks so small and lonely over there, yeah? My action. That's the opposite of the command, okay? That's the opposite of the command. The command is ehele aku oi. Go away. Ehele aku oi. What's up this complex today about going away, yeah? Ehele aku oi. Go away. Come. Ehele mai oi. Okay? Remember aku and mai? Yeah, aku takes our action away and mai brings our action towards us. Mai ka'e. Okay, now, if you want to say, don't come, then you start the sentence off with mai. Mai hele mai oi. Mai hele mai oi. Okay, that's not the same as I don't know or I don't eat poi. Okay, that's different. This is the don't, like, don't you dare, don't do this, don't do that, like that kind of don't, okay? And that's mai. Mai hele oi. Mai hele mai oi. Mai hele aku oi. Mai ai oi. I don't think a Hawaiian will ever say don't eat. Mai ai oi, okay? Mai inui kapia, don't drink beer, okay? Mai puhi paka, don't smoke cigarettes, okay? Mai hele awana, don't wander off, okay? But you see how the mai is up in the front before the action. That says don't do something, okay? The next one that you would want to watch is the a infinitive. And we've gone over that in last lesson and this lesson, how you can take what, you start off your sentence with an action, and then you want to bring in the other action, you bring it in with an a. Let's take a look. Maki makieo e hele. Maki makieo e hele. I want to go. Okay? I want to go. So you see that little a in there brings in our action. Stative causative. Something is some way because of something. Okay? Something in is in a certain condition because of something. In this case, pa'akapuka ikamakani. Pa'akapuka ikamakani. The door is shut because what? Because the wind. Yeah? So you see that little e in there gives us the reason. Okay? Pa'akapuka, that's a sentence all by itself, but you want to tell why? Ikamakani. Okay? That e has to be followed by a noun. Ha'aheo o tutu ya oi. Ha'aheo o tutu ya oi. Tutu is what? Proud. Why? Because of you. Ya oi. So you see how e is used for common nouns, okay? And ia is going to precede what? Pronouns and names, okay? So tutu is proud of kunane. Ha'aheo o tutu ia kunane, okay? Okay, we've come to the time where I'm going to give you a little bit time to practice what you've learned and give you a couple of minutes to look at it and see if you get it. Now, like I said, do not. And if you're cheating, don't worry, I'm going to find out, okay? But try not to write it down. Try to think it out. Try to see the action and talk that out. Don't write it down. Because, you know, your reason for learning Hawaiian language is not to write letters to each other, but rather to speak to each other, okay? So try it. Just try to speak it. Let's take a look at what we have here. Yesterday, I talked to my friend. Yesterday, I talked to my friend. In our last class, we had yesterday, okay? So remember, this is completed action. I'm giving you all the hints now, okay? His name is Kupa'a. His name is Kupa'a. He will not come to class today. He will not come to class today. So obviously that sentence is going to start out with what? Did you say, oya, I'm going to choke your neck? Okay, no. It starts off with what? Aole. Mai kai. Starts off with aole. Okay, so that was a hint for that one. And the last one is, he has a cold. He has a cold. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to check this out and try it, and then I'll bring you, show you the answers. And then I have 3 more to do after that we'll try. And those are a little bit more difficult, but we'll see how it goes, okay? So a couple of minutes. Hikino. Okay, let's take a look at it. Yesterday I talked to my friend. Inehine ua olelo au I ko'u hoaloha. Inehine ua olelo au I ko'u hoaloha. His name is Kupa'a o Kupa'a Kona Inoa. Maika e. He isn't coming to class today. He will not be coming to class today. A'ole oia e hele mai ana I ka papa I ke ia la. Once again, it's just chunks, okay? A'ole oia e hele mai ana I ka papa I ke ia la. Of course, you're not going to say it like that. You'll say it, just right through. A'ole oia e hele mai ana I ka papa I ke ia la. And last one, he anu kona. He anu kona. Okay, I'll give you 3 more really fast to check out. You have about a minute. This is not too hard. The second one is something that I introduced today. So give it your best shot, about a minute, and then we'll go over it. Okay, he went to Nani's house last night. Ua hele oia I ko Nani hale I ka ponei. They had to study together. This is the one that we went over today. Pono laua e ho'o pa'aha'awina pu. Pono laua e ho'o pa'aha'awina pu. Remember the word pu together? Nani is not smart, but Keola helps her. A'ole aka mai o Nani, aka kokua o Keola iaya. And here we go. Ua hele oia I ko Nani hale I ka ponei. Ua pono laua e ho'opa'aha'awina pu. Put the ua over there just to show that it's in the past. A'ole aka mai o Nani, aka kokua o Keola iaya. Okay, we'll leave this here for a little while. While we're watching the vignette, you might want to listen for some of these patterns that we've gone over and see how much more you're understanding, okay? Hopefully this was helpful, okay? We're going to go back and watch Kunani wash his hair some more, okay? And try to figure out what's going on. So as soon as you're Paul, I'll see you. Ahui ho.
E, kalama.
Eo.
Aheo ana ke Jay.
Ua hele oia ki I ke kopala oho. Fe he oe.
Ma luhi loa wau.
No ke aha. Ua paina oe ko monei.
Ole, wa ho'o pa'aha'awina wau I ka pone. Nui ko upilikia I ka papa ake aka mai.
Kokua au ia oe. Pu, nui ko upilikia pui ke la papa. Pehea, e oki ana o ana KJ di ko lau oho.
Ai.
No kia hamai, ole lo ihi loa ko lau oho.
Ole lo ihi loa ka pono wau e oki. No ka mea e hele rana maua o kau'i. Me le ohu lau o malulani I ka hale aina me ko kau'i mahua kane.
Oia, e hele ana o ko I ka hale aina hea.
Niele. Hele ana mako I ka hale aina o Andrews.
Hui, mākaukau.
E, aloha ia ana ke. maika'i oia. E ho'omaka ana kanahana I ka lā apopo.
O, e hana no oia mahea.
Anano oia ma ke kula nui. Ale maika'i ka uku a ka make oia e kokua I ke la ke'ena.
Ke ena hea.
O keia ke'ena kokua I nā haumana Hawai'i. Pehea oe, e hana ana oe.
Ke hana ne au I ke ia manawa.
Oia ka, he haka o ana.
Ho mae au. Ke ia wahi.
Oia, ka laki no oe. Oia ke kumu, o mana o wau e oki ana oe ko lauoho I ke aka kaiaka.
Ole, make o ana ke oki. Ole lo mai oia ine. Puka kau lau oho. Ka iki au, lili wale no oia.
Ole pa, aka wale no.
Kuna ne. I ke ia maka iki ae, e la vai ana mako ma aleka.
Me vai,
Ke noho nei ka hoaloha o ko'u mama ma o. No leila, e hele ana au me ko'u ohana. E hele mai me mako.
au e, nui loa ke kāla.
Ole pirikia, no ka mea, ua iki au I ko kau I lei vuvuni I hao. E malama ho oi, kau kala.
Ale hiki paha.
No ke aha.
No ka mea, make ko ututu e lawe a mako I tahiti ke ia make hiae. Ua lohe wau, ano pipi'i nā mea ma ke lawahi.
He ohana ko ma tahiti?
Ai, he tahiti ko ututu. No leila, ano nui ko nā ohana ma leila.
Pehea o tutu.
Maika'i no, o maika'i au he tutu o pio ko.
Pono oi e lawe mai I ko tutu I ke ia wahi mamu o ka huakai.
Ai, e hele mai ana oia I ke ia pulea e no ka pena miki au. Ai, ana ke?
Ai.
E kala mai, pono au e ho'o mai ka lua.
Ai, a hiki no e ke kanaka pa'ahana.
You know, I thought that was my ka'i. I think it's getting better. You know, this is actually the last lesson, like I said, in the series of 24. And so I just want to say mahalo for staying with us. Remember that the next show, the number 24, is a compilation or collection of all of the vignettes. So although there won't be a lesson, that is really the most special one, I think, because you get to see all of the vignettes one time. And that's not vignettes, that's vignettes, all one time and actually practice them, okay? So I hope you stay tuned for that. Nā kia koe, ho'opo mai ka ia oe, and ia o koe na kahu vai o ki kula o ka mea maki wau e mahalo aku ia oe. Ia oe mamo, mahalo no ke ia lole, ahui ho kākou, aloha.